Good morning. So I'm about to get started with some daily rituals. I just woke up this morning, dropped my daughter off to school, came back home, watched a quick YouTube video, almost started to get lost in the vortex, which is YouTube and Facebook, when I remembered, oh yes, it's on my schedule to do my morning routine. So I'm here in my loft, and this is where I'm going to do the morning routine. It's not totally messy and it's not totally neat. This is a workspace and this is where I get a lot of things done. But I'm going to utilize this space as well for my morning ritual. You should have some type of space that you can go back to, whether it's a closet that you clean out. I've done that before and just had a closet with my own space and just a few items in there just to help me maintain my focus. You can have a corner of a bedroom. You can go outside to the beach or the park if it's a nice day, if it's a nice morning. Take a blanket with you or whatever you need. But use a space and use the same space each day. That way it kind of builds that routine around that space if you can. And remember, nothing has to be perfect. Like I said, this space isn't perfectly clean. I could stand to clean it, and I'll probably do so later today. But let's get started. So I have this screen that I picked up from IKEA. It's a great room divider. These cost about $149, something like that, and you can move them around the room. They're great for partitioning different areas, and they're great to create like your own space with. So I'm just going to use it as a way to kind of separate myself from the computer and keep the computer on the other side of the divider, and that way I can come over here, I can set up my Zafu. I like to use what's called a Zafu. It's a meditation pillow, okay, to sit on. And there's a little meditation mat so that my ankles don't hurt on the harder floors. And then I'm going to set up a yoga mat. Okay, set up a yoga mat for my space. That's what I'll be doing, some yoga here this morning as part of my life binder routine, my daily ritual routine. And of course, I have my binder with me. That way I can get organized. I can go through page by page and do my daily routine and stay organized with it. And it's good to have a timer. Right now I'm using my phone to record, but if you have a timer, and you could do like 5-minute segments on different things, and really you got to customize it to you. What works for you? What works for your day? What works for your morning? So I got my binder, I got my pen, got my yoga mat, my space, my Zafu pillow, and my glass of water, and I'm ready to go. So now that I've got a space, a comfortable seat, I've got my binder, I'm ready to get started. Open my binder up, and I grab out the first thing, which is my gratitude list. And sometimes your morning, your day, your sleep, I mean, things can often get interrupted. People don't want to cooperate with, the kind of energy that you're trying to bring out into the world. Your teenagers might be dragging, your significant other might be, finding some faults in, why the dishes weren't done that night. And yes, you got to do the best with what you have in that moment. Other times it'll flow great. It seems like the stars are in alignment, and that's good too. But wherever you're at, just take action. We tend to, as human beings, wait for the perfect time or the perfect mood. If we wait for the perfect time or to be in the perfect mood, it'll never really happen. It'll never really take hold. We have to claim that time and not worry about if we're in the perfect mood or not. This is where a discipline becomes formed. Okay, we are creating a discipline so that in life, to be successful at whatever it is you want to do, you sometimes have to not go toward what's comfortable, but go toward what is your goal. There was a study done by a group where they fed these kids these marshmallows when they were little kids, and the kids were told that if they would wait and not eat the marshmallow, that they would get more marshmallows for every 5 minutes that they waited. And some kids were able to wait and get a whole bag full of marshmallows. It was so cool for them. But other kids just couldn't stand to wait. And some of them took a bite and put it back. Some of them ate the whole thing. Some of them licked it. But they just couldn't do it. They studied those kids throughout their lives. And 40 years later, they found that the kids that didn't eat the marshmallow, that were able to withhold that instant gratification, those were the kids that became uber successful later in life. So it just goes to show, don't eat that marshmallow. Wait, delay your gratification for some things. And this is the discipline that helps you learn how to do that. So I digress. Gratitude list. 5 to 10 things I'm grateful for. So I start there. I go through my list, right, one at a time. I walk it through. And then my health. Okay, so I'm going to be grateful for my health. Why am I grateful for my health? I think about that. Oh, my health, my body. So many people in this life don't have good health, and I do. I'm so lucky that I have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes. I can breathe. I can walk. My health, and I let that resonate inside. I close my eyes and I feel that in my body, and I take a few deep breaths with that. And then my family. I love my family. That's who I live for. This is like why I do what I do. When my family's together, I feel in alignment with my life. So my family, my kids, I love my kids. I want the world for my kids. I have 3 amazing kids, and I think about them all day, every day. And if you're a parent, you sometimes can obsess over your kids because you just want the best for them. You love them so much. And I'm so grateful for my kids. My wife, she's my rock. She's the most wonderful thing that's ever come into my life, because she's always there by my side through the ups, through the downs. She's always there by my side. And she's a wonderful partner. She makes me laugh. And we go through life together, and it's a beautiful thing, a beautiful partnership, and it's a beautiful love and marriage. And I'm so grateful that I have my wife. A roof over my head. Thank goodness I don't have to sleep out in the street. I have a roof over my head. So grateful. So I let this resonate, right? I'm kind of building a resonance inside. I'm breathing, and every once in a while some things of like self-doubt might come in, or some things that I start to train off into a different thought. That's okay. That's just very normal. But just go down the list: a bathtub and shower. I feel that in my body. Food and water. I'm so blessed that I can go down to the downstairs into the kitchen and have access to food. I have access to clean water that I can drink. This is the most wonderful thing. I mean, when you shift your attention to gratitude, like right now, I'm just even starting to shift into this gratitude state, just talking to you about it. Water is just amazing, right? How many people walk around drinking water and say, "Oh my God, water," right? It seems almost ridiculous, but it really is about your state of gratitude. So going through the list, and then 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for that haven't happened yet. Okay, so what can you be grateful for that hasn't happened yet? Some kind of goal that you achieve, and you want to start saying that goal as if it's already happened. And we'll get more into how the subconscious mind works a little bit later as it pertains to goals and attracting goals. But I want to do a 6-month extended travel with my family and go to I have it all planned out. I don't want to, I'm going to. It's already happened in my mind. We're gonna go to Italy and Spain and France and England and Ireland and Scotland, and finish up in Germany. And that's my whole plan that I've laid out. And so what I'll do is I'll be grateful for that. I'm so grateful that my family and I made that commitment to travel the world together. You put it in a state of mind where it already has been. It has been the most wonderful experience. It's brought our family together. It's created a close family bond, and we were able to see and experience things that are going to last us the rest of our lives. And it was so wonderful and amazing to be able to pass that on to my kids, and they could see now the ability that through choice you can have freedom to do anything it is that you set your mind to. I'm so grateful for that experience, right? So that's what you do, is you go through different things in your life that you are grateful for that haven't even happened yet. Okay? So that's the gratitude list. After that, and really you can do parts of, you know, you can change the order, what works for you. There's a section to fill out, a commitment section. There's a who section, you would fill that out, but that wouldn't be part of your daily ritual, but you can review that. And there's an avatar affirmation statement. This is an incantation of who I create myself to be. So it's some type of a I am statement or a declarative statement that says who you are, okay? And who you want to become. And I, you know, all the success gurus use some type of version of this, but who's very well known for it is Tony Robbins. And he talks about incantations over affirmations, and that an incantation is where you use your body, you create movement, you make it dynamic, and you use expression and feeling, and you bring it into your body so that it resonates much deeper into your cellular, you know, you feel it in your bones, you feel it in your cells, it becomes part of you and it's not fake, okay? Your mind, your subconscious mind can, you know, sometimes not come along for the ride. So if you want it to come along for the ride, you gotta be all in, and that goes with anything else in life. You gotta be all in with what you do. And so that's what this avatar affirmation statement incantation could and should be. Now, you may be in a quiet place, you may have, you know, young one sleeping in the next room, and it might be early in the morning, your family's sleeping, something like that. So what do? You write your incantation, you feel it, you say it more softly to yourself, you're not trying to disturb the whole house. But then later when you're driving in your car, you can do a recording, a voice recording, and then listen to yourself on audio, and you could say it out loud while the audio is playing, and you feel it in your body while you're driving in the car. Or you can go to a park. So you could be creative in when you do this. You know, Tony Robbins also talks about going to his different workshops and seminars that he would teach, and he would be, you know, just yelling and, you know, bringing that incantation while he's driving the car, and people at the stoplight next to him thought he was crazy, but it seemed to work. So mine is, I stay in such a high vibration that I can't help but attract an overabundance of health, wealth, fun, love, gratitude each and every day. Okay, so what's yours? I created that one. Then I created a shorter version because I wanted to write this 25 times a day to get it to sink into my subconscious. And I learned that from Susie Orman. I created a video about that. So I shortened it. I said, I live in an overabundance of health, wealth, and love each day. Easy, right? And I wrote it 25 times. And to sit down and write a sentence, I am wealthy in all things, powerful in all things, confident in all things, you know, and I see the beauty in all things. Whatever it is, I am in a constant state of flow, love, and gratitude. Whatever it is, I attract wealth and money from expected and unexpected sources daily. Whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be something that you believe yet. It could be something that you believe over time. And in fact, if there's a little bit in you that has what's called a cognitive dissonance, it doesn't believe it yet, then that's actually a good sign, because it shows you're stretching and growing in what you have for your belief systems. So don't worry if you believe it fully yet. I'll show you tools later on to get past that cognitive dissonance. Flipping through here, there's an area with intentions and endpoint metrics, so you're going to want to spend some time to fill that out. That's not something you would do every day as a ritual, but it keeps you on track. That's your compass. That's where you want to go in the next 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, and you can reverse engineer and bring things back so that, you know, you can start with the end goal in mind and then work your way backwards in your vision, in your actions plans, in your calendar, and so forth. So what are your 30-day goals, your 3-month goals, 6-month goals? Review those. Gamify. So here's where you can actually create points in that calendar system. Okay, there's a calendar system here with the little points area, and you can go through and be competitive with yourself. You know, the only one that you have to really be competitive with in your life is with you. And you know, somebody like Michael Jordan, the best basketball player of all time, in my opinion, always kept himself up to the highest standard. And the reason why, you know, when he was asked by Tony Robbins, was, you know, Tony said, Michael, why are you so successful? He says, I hold myself to the standard that, you know, nobody else would hold myself to this standard. I hold myself to that standard where I absolutely go above and beyond, and I do as much as I possibly can do. When I practice, I work my mindset rituals. I'm on the court before anybody else. I take more free throws before anyone else. I practice more than anyone else. I train more than anyone else. I, you know, rest and recover better than anyone else. It's, you know, I feed my body, and he just held himself to that higher standard. This helps raise your standards, is what it does, because you're creating habits. Okay, and so then you go on mental movie. So here's where you describe what's your mental movie. How do you see yourself? You know, I see myself as, you know, a person who lives a life of freedom, where I can have the ability to choose and create my day however I want. And when I create my day, I like to wake up with, you know, a nice breakfast, a yoga class or a workout session at the gym, a walk on the beach with my significant other. Then I like to do some writing. Then I like to connect with some friends, and then I do some more work on some projects. I usually don't work for more than 3 to 5 hours a day. I come back home, I pick up my kids from school, I come back home and I work with my kids on their piano and guitar, and then we go out and we do a family outing, and we have a family dinner together each night, and then we finish the night with a family movie, and I come back and I do a meditation at the end of the night. So what is your mental movie of your ideal day? You could do it that way, or some goal. I have a goal of, like I said, traveling the world. So how can I go into my mental movie and create a movie that's so vivid where I see myself buying that plane ticket, and I see myself with my family, you know, taking that plane trip to Italy and landing in Italy. You know, here we are in Florence, and we're getting out, we're getting our suitcases out, and we're walking out, and we're seeing, you know, we're visiting Lucca, and we're visiting, you know, Florence, and we're visiting the Statue of David and Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci's work, and just going through Italy and seeing, you know, Venice and the boats and everything like that. So what do you see? And if you can describe it, right, and write it all down into a mental movie that you can continue to go back to each and every day, then that is a very, very powerful thing. I've used the mental movie in a lot of ways in my life to create massive change and to create attraction into my goals, and to get myself to take action. Remember this: what you think about becomes your speech becomes your action, and your actions become your life. Okay, that always holds true. So, mental movie daily log. Every time you come back to it now as a daily practice, you sit inside of that. Okay? So if I sit inside of that, and ideally, really, I would do my meditation first. So let's just take a step back. Here's the order that I like to do it. Okay, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going through the binder, but we're making changes with the binder as we go. Remember, it's a customizable binder. And I'm going to do some yoga practice and some breathing practice before I get into my mental movie. So I start with some deep breathing. Inhale, soft and light, all the way down to my stomach. Exhale. And I won't go through a full meditation right now, but I'll do a separate video where I show you a basic meditation routine that you can follow along with. Then I'm going to go into my yoga practice. So maybe you want to incorporate a yoga practice. Maybe you want to do some high-intensity interval training, but I do a yoga practice, and I just do some simple yoga movements that I've put together. I won't go through a whole routine now, but just I kind of flow through some basics. You know, coming down, into the cobra pose, down into the downward dog, stretching through my shoulders, engaging my core, my glutes, hamstring. I step up into a crescent pose. This one is excellent. It opens up my hips. It gets my legs to fire up, my shoulders to stretch. From here, I'll go through a warrior two, open up at the chest. I'll flow back, opening up at the chest, bending at the side, coming back down. And I'll go through a series of yoga postures, deep breathing. Sometimes I'll flow through it. Sometimes I will hold the poses longer. For instance, sometimes I'll really hold this one and kind of slowly lower down. I'll really get into my body. I'll get down lower. I'll hold it here longer. Warrior two. I'll stretch and reach into it more, use my breathing. So I'll go through a series of movements that help my body to wake up. Doesn't have to, you don't have to be a yoga guru to practice yoga. You just have to be present with your body, listen to your body. It does help to know some basics of what you're doing, and we will create some video or share some video, either one that will support you with that. But just some simple movements there. So, finish up my brief yoga routine, 5 or 10 minutes. Remember, the point is to energize the body. I feel in better alignment now. I feel more integrated now. I've done some gratitude already. I've done some affirmations, and now my body is ready to settle into a meditation practice. So, meditation, sitting comfortably, elevate yourself with a seat cushion. It's better for your spine. You can sit in a cross-legged position or a half lotus or a lotus position. I learned with right hand on the bottom, left hand on top, thumbs lightly touching. Back straight, head level. Most important thing is that you're comfortable and that you don't fall back asleep. You don't want to be in meditation too relaxed or too tense. So somewhere right in the middle. Okay, if you're too relaxed, you'll fall asleep. If you're too tense and rigid, you're resisting with tension. So right in the middle, letting the energy flow through your body. Breathe, inhale, soft and light. Exhale. So I'll do a meditation here. This could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. It really is up to you. This is a customized routine, but I recommend consistency over length. So if you can do 10 minutes and kind of work your way up, that's excellent. Depends on what your goals are with your meditation practice, but your meditation practice has its own unique set of benefits that are I can get into in a later video, and I can share some case studies and things like that. But meditation is the thing that recenters you. It breaks the habit of incessant thought patterns. As human beings, we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and for most people, 90% of those are negative and or repetitive thoughts that just continue to cycle and cycle and cycle. And we feel we have control over our thoughts until we start to meditate consistently. We realize that our thoughts just kind of go on their own. They're habitual. And so when you can become the observer and watch your thoughts no longer have the control and pull over you. And that gives you a lot more power and presence in everything that you do, from your relationships to your ability to focus and get the job done, to be able to manifest your goals and dreams in your life. So meditation is very powerful. After the meditation, so now you've spent time in silence, now you want to create more of an active visualization, right? So this is the visualization process. Um, when you get to this process, this is what's called the mental movie in your binder. And this is a lot of fun. I love the mental movie aspect. So after you've described your mental movie, but now this is where you put in your daily log. So go back to your description, overview it briefly. Okay, this is what my mental movie is. I can read you mine really quickly. It says, I see myself as a freedom lifestyle entrepreneur. I travel around the world with my family to different places. I see myself driving a Volkswagen Vanagon on U.S. road trips. I see myself in European countries on extended family travel trips for 6 months at a time. I see myself expressing through vlogging, blogging, podcasts, music, and workshops and speaking. I see myself helping others. I see my bank account overflowing and I'm able to save, invest, and give back 10% to charity. I see myself volunteering my time and energy. So, what do you see yourself doing? Get clear on that. Create a mental movie in your mind. And now, go into your imagination theater, as one of my mindset mentors, Brian Grasso, says. And go into your mind and see that. And feel it. Let it come alive. See yourself buying that plane ticket. See yourself, having that, beautiful honeymoon in Hawaii. See yourself, with the keys to your new home, and you're opening the door, and there it is. You've got the spiral staircase and the beautiful family room and living room and the kitchen and all the bedrooms, and you see your happy family, and they're running in and out each room, and they're laughing and smiling and giving you a hug and saying, we did it, this is amazing. That type of excitement. See yourself on that cruise, that Caribbean cruise. See yourself, running that marathon, running and completing that Spartan race, jumping through the flame at the last part of the race, and all the people in the crowd cheering for you, and then they hand you that medal and they give you that t-shirt, and see that in your mind and feel it. And what do you hear? Do you hear the crowd? And what do you smell? And what are the things that you can touch? Your subconscious mind is now becoming alive with your vision. And so you do that every single day, and you let yourself feel incredible during that time. Incredible. And sometimes, you have to realize that you're worth it. You're worth sitting down for 10 minutes and visualizing something incredible and letting yourself feel it as though it's already happened. You're worth that. And, you have to remind yourself that I am worth it. I'm worth this time to invest in my morning rituals. I'm worth this time to sit down and go through, this amazing inward journey, so that you can then live it on the outside. Okay? The proof is in how you feel during the day and the actions that you take. And if you start your morning rituals like this, you'll be much more inspired than if you just, go to Starbucks, grab a sugary muffin and a sugary drink, and you don't work out, and you kind of hit the snooze button all morning, and you look at the news. I mean, those are the ways that most people start the day, and you're changing the script. You are creating an inner vision for yourself with the mental movie. Very powerful stuff. So after the mental movie, now we went from, some gratitude to shift our state. We did some yoga, some meditation. We did the visualization in the mental movie. So we've done a lot already. Now we can get into some practical work where we go through and we look at our objections and actions. So what are the objections and actions? If you want to create a business, if you want to work toward a fitness goal, losing maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 or more pounds, if you want to start a blog or a vlog and start creating and expressing yourself, whatever that is, going back to school, whatever that is, what's your objection? Put your primary intention for it at the top. And then what are the different objectives that you have to complete? So, for my world travel, I'm starting a vlog, and it's called Fit Fam Foodie, fitness, family, and food, and we're traveling. So my objective is to start a YouTube channel and start consistent vlogging once a week. Another objective is to create a Patreon just for my travels, for my family travels. And then another objective is to plan the trips. Another objective is to plan or to create a vlog and create a list of all the vlogs I want to create. So what are the objectives? Now chunk it down into actions. If I'm going to create a YouTube channel, what do I have to do? I have to film some videos, edit them, put them up onto YouTube. I have to create some graphics for my YouTube channel. I have to do some research. I could put all of those into actions and then give myself allocation times. Okay, I'm going to give myself 2 hours to do some research on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to give myself 5 hours to create and edit a video and publish it up to YouTube. I'm going to give myself 3 hours to sit and plan and do some planning strategy work. So whatever it is, you chunk it into times. Now you have something to go back when you're filling out your calendar, and you can chunk in the actions that are in line with your intentions. And all these go back, mind you, to your other section of your intentions. Remember your intentions section? So that's the one where you filled out your intentions and what you'll do the next 30 days, 3 months, and 6 months. So if your objectives and your actions are in line with your intentions, now you're going in the right direction, if that makes sense. Hope it does. So now we're going to chunk things down into a daily calendar. So you go into the daily calendar area, and you block by block, you start filling in your day. And here's what I recommend you do. And this is totally different than what you may have done in the past. I recommend you start with putting in the things that make you feel good, that are best for you, or that are self-care for you. So start your day by day and your week planning by going, okay, where am I doing my morning rituals? When am I preparing my meals? When am I going to make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep that I know I need to wake up fresh and I can wake up without an alarm clock the next day? When am I going to practice my guitar, because that's something that gives me joy. So you put in all the things for yourself first. See, we're used to doing ourself last. Okay? We're flipping the script. Putting yourself first is how you get the energy to serve others from your overflow. Now you have so much to give. You have so much excitement. You have so much that you've poured into yourself. You're serving others not from an empty cup, but from a cup that's just spilling over. You have so much to give, and that's the state that you want to be in on a daily basis, to help others and to live the life that you really want to live, and to resonate that kind of energy of the giving person that I know that you are. I know that you are a giving person, or else you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be working on yourself, and you wouldn't be watching these videos and following along. You are a giving person. So start with you. After you've started with you, and maybe you don't have a lot of time right now to start with you, but maybe you can do a half an hour. That's enough, okay? At least at the start. 10 minutes, wherever you can start, okay? Start with you. Then, what about your family and the people close to you, right? What about your family and the people close to you? Make sure that your significant other, maybe you spend some time visualizing and dreaming, you do a daily walk. What's your ritual that you can do with your significant other every day that gets you closer, to get you to bond together? Okay, maybe it's walking the dog, maybe it's working out, maybe it's sitting down and reading each other your favorite book. Maybe it's watching a movie, but something hopefully where you can engage a little bit more. Or maybe it's going out to dinner together, or eating breakfast together, whatever it is. Make sure that you do something with your significant other and your kids. You have some type of connection time. Maybe at the end of the night, you sit with your kids and you read them a book. What's your time to connect with the people that you love. Ask them how would you like me to connect with you each day in a way that uplifts our relationship? How would you like me to do that? Here's my ideas. I thought of, we could work out, we could play music, we could take a jog on the beach. How would you like me to show up in your life each day? Isn't that cool? Cool thing to think about, right? So you schedule in your wife and kids, your husband and kids, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your people that are really close to you that you see on a daily basis. Okay? And of course, if you want to schedule in any close friends or a business partner, anybody that you need to keep in your really close inner circle, you schedule them in because they're very important. Now you schedule in your other stuff, okay? Your work and your projects and your career and your daily job, or whatever that is, right? So now you schedule that stuff in. Okay, so, of course, if you have a daily 9 to 5 job, of course you have to block that time out, and of course it's a structured thing. But you see how you're just shifting your mindset of how you even think about structuring your day, putting you first, putting the ones that you love right there next, and then putting your work and your projects last. See, other people, they get involved in building their business or their work or their career, and that's their focus, and they can stay there. They get addicted to that, and then their marriage falls apart, their relationship with their kids fall apart, they fall apart, their life crumbles down, and then they lose their job, which was their biggest focus, and then their whole life is wrecked. And that happens. It's horrible. It's a horrible tragedy. This method will avoid all of that, and you'll live an incredible life if you stick to this. Okay? Don't take my word for it. Try it out, and you'll see the difference. Okay, so after you've done that, then you can basically get into starting your day. Or there's a section in here where you can create an avatar, like a mini vision board, or you can even print out pictures of things that you want to attract into your life. Here I've got a picture of a jacuzzi that I want to attract into my life, and a picture of a Volkswagen Vanagon that I plan on purchasing soon, and traveling, riding up and down the coast with my kids and my wife and kids and our dog. And here, a trip to Costa Rica, practicing yoga in Costa Rica. So what are some cool images that you can finish your daily ritual with, that you can kind of flip through and resonate through, that you want to attract into your life? Remember that language of the subconscious mind is two things: images and feelings. So connecting with the images and the feelings of the things that you want to resonate is a great way to finish your practice on a high note. And the last two are things that you do in the evening, and those are your daily thank yous. You find 3 people to thank. Who are you going to thank, and why are you going to thank them, and how are you going to thank them? Maybe you're going to send them a postcard, an email, a quick 30-second video telling that person how appreciative you are. Maybe it's a handwritten note. Maybe it's a hug, a high five. How are you going to thank that person? Okay, and why? And then the last one is your daily wins. And remember, you're doing these at the end of the night now. What 3 things stand out to me, and did they bring me closer to my goals and intentions? So your daily wins, you list 3 wins, and what this does is it's so powerful. I'll do another video on the power of the daily wins, but it's so powerful because the daily wins bring you closer to, they basically bridge the gap in your mind. Because our biological wiring as a human being is to go into the negative at the end of the day. So this rewires our mind to go into the positive. We fall asleep, it soaks into our subconscious, and then we start to recognize the wins throughout the day once we've been doing this enough. And when you're going through and you're seeing yourself winning and you're knowing it and feeling it, you are expressing it in your life, and it creates a feedback loop, a feedback mechanism, and you can use it over time to become as successful as you want. Success isn't, one event. Success is all the little things that lead up to an event that takes place, right? because you've prepared yourself, because you've visualized, because you've generated the energy that's attracting that resonance of whatever it is to occur to create that synchronistic event that happened. Okay, however you want to look at it, believe me, is it luck? I don't think so. I think you train, you practice, you visualize, and then you're in the right place at the right time. And then because you've put yourself in that state so many times, you're able to see that opportunity, take the opportunity, and create success in your life. So continue to practice daily. Continue to forgive yourself if you miss a day. Continue to tell yourself, you know what, I am worth it. I'm worth the time. I'm worth the love. I am complete, and I am perfect in my imperfections. And the reason why you are worth it is because there are people that count on you. You are an expression of the universe, and you are here for a reason, to live your greater purpose, to learn and grow, and to dance the dance of life, and to discover and live inside of the mystery of life. And this is something that really opens all the doors for you. It starts with you. Okay, so have a great one. Thank you.